Hello everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we're going to go over the complete story of Infinite Crisis. Previously, we uploaded this comic series separately, but today we'll be seeing the entire story all in one video. We begin with Superman, who is flying through space. Why are we here? You've forgotten, haven't you? The Man of Steel has scanned the entire area. There's no physical trace of the Martian Manhunter. Geoff Johns is dead, and the Watchtower won't hold much longer either. The teleportation chamber activated less than a second before the tower exploded. Someone was here. Someone did all of this. Superman asks Batman what he's carrying. The Bat tells him it's a black box. It blanketed his security cameras and recorded the same feeds his monitors saw for the last 2 years. With it, he'll be able to discover who's responsible for all this. Superman asks if he's spying even more now. Wasn't that satellite enough? Batman tells him not to be naive. This is simply security. Wonder Woman says this is anything but simple. Batman tells her she shouldn't be here. Diana answers that none of them should be. The Bat knows people are afraid. Diana thinks they should be. The world is plummeting into hell. Superman says the fear is about them. People fear them because of Wonder Woman. Those images have been broadcast nonstop. Doesn't Diana understand? Everyone saw her, the exact moment she killed Maxwell Lord. The news runs the video. The exact source of the footage is still unknown, but video analysts worldwide have certified the recording as authentic. They're live from Los Angeles, where members of the Teen Titans are fighting desperately to protect the City of Angels from a strange army of creatures. Church authorities deny that the Pope believes revelation has begun. There are more OMAC sightings. Speculation continues about their origin and exact purpose. Government officials keep denying any involvement. They usually appear in groups of 3 or fewer, and they seem to be gathering over most major cities. We're with Superboy now. Martha tells him he should be helping his friends. Superboy says Luther didn't clone him to help people. Martha tells him only he can decide that. The world needs a Superboy. Superboy steals himself, jaw tight as he opens his shirt. For a moment I see the man he could be instead of the boy he thinks he is. But sadly, it's only a moment. When will anyone actually do something? While all these disasters unfold on Earth, elsewhere there are people watching it all, this entire crisis. It bothers them that Connor isn't doing anything. As much as it pains him to admit it, he made a terrible miscalculation. It's time for them to intervene. But if they do, they might make things worse on Earth by getting involved. And if they don't get involved, what then? There won't be an Earth left to worry about. They must be wrong. They can't be right. As Connor buttons his shirt, I observe more than 17 random acts of violence in Bloodhaven alone, most committed by police officers, but a young man raised under the bright colors of the circus hopes to save this place. Nightwing and Starfire are here to help, a man of Earth and an alien princess. I've watched their relationship with personal interest for years. I've seen them given the chance to make it work. But maybe love is powerless here. Everywhere I look, the darkness grows. People do anything to run, to flee the OMACs. Project OMAC is complete. The skies darken with the corrupt technology of their mentor. Meanwhile, far away a war is raging in Sector 2682, the Polaris Galaxy. The Green Lanterns are doing everything they can to protect the galaxy. Protecting the universe is their mission, but at this moment they're accomplishing nothing. Even the Guardians are locked inside the Citadel. The conflict between Rand and Thanagar seems to have become a very unfortunate catalyst. Worlds have taken sides. The cosmic balance, the very structure of existence, has shifted. For the first time in history, OA is no longer at the center of the universe. Now it's a whole. Someone, or something, has intentionally changed the nature of the cosmos. To what end, Ganthet does not yet know. Even these beings who have watched this universe for billions of years, who trust those who can overcome great fear, are afraid that there may not even be a tomorrow. But it will come. You can be sure of that. Elsewhere, Shazam is struck down. He says the Rock of Eternity did it. The Spectre, he killed the Wizard. Gotham City is in flames. One legend has fallen at the hands of another. I begin to realize this is what the world does to legends. It corrupts them. The world destroys legends. Uncle Sam believes he represents an American way of life. He claims to be as old as the country itself. He claims he wrestled Paul Bunyan and outplanted Johnny Appleseed in Washington's orchards. He claims many things. And as with any crisis, There's always someone ready to exploit the chaos to destroy the world. And who will those villains be? Bizarro waves goodbye to everyone. We return to Batman, who tells the rest of the Trinity he has to get back to Gotham City. Diana has to return to Themyscira. Superman asks her if Themyscira is harboring a fugitive. She has to answer for what she did. Diana tells him she will, when the time comes. Superman asks if that time will ever come. Suddenly, he hears a heartbeat and then takes a hit. Mongol is here. Despero said it was true, but he had to see it with his own eyes. This is a good day to begin the destruction of the Justice League. On Earth, the villains have already begun their attack. Zoom is the first to land multiple blows. Cheetah and Deathstroke do the same. In space, Mongol attacks Batman. Diana drives in with her sword, and Mongol asks if it's blood she wants. If that's what she wants, that's what she'll get. Superman comes in from behind and blasts Mongol with heat vision. The villain had hoped to find something valuable among the debris, and he thinks he has. After landing a heavy blow on Superman, he grabs Batman. On Earth, Human Bomb tells the villains to get away from his teammates. They need to back off. Dr. Polaris tells him that with that attack, he just dug his own grave. Human Bomb calls them murderers for everything they're doing. If it's war they want, Human Bomb will give it to them, with a massive blast. Bizarro arrives. He likes the Human Bomb. He likes all the pretty lights. After a flurry of punches, he finishes his foe. No more pretty lights. In space, Mongol already has Batman. He'll take his skull to add to his throne. Superman arrives and saves his friend with a crushing punch to Mongol. This was the worst moment, the worst day, to confront the Trinity. The Man of Steel asks Batman if he's all right. The Bat says he is, but what about Mongol? Clark says he's down. Diana moves to use her sword. They have to keep him pinned. Time to finish another villain. Before she can, Superman stops her. Mongol certainly saw that coming up close. Batman asks Diana what she thinks she's doing. She answers with a question. What did he think she was going to do? Superman doesn't recognize this friend anymore. Diana tells him that of all people, he knows who she is. She is what the world needs. She is Wonder Woman. Mongol uses their argument to get back up. All of them are pathetic. On Earth, Black Adam slams Uncle Sam. So much for his beloved freedom. Ray was on the ground, watching. He wanted to stand and help Uncle Sam, but then the Psycho Pirate arrives and grabs him by the leg. He has to take him away from here. Lex Luthor needs him alive. Sinestro also joins the battle to beat down Uncle Sam. In space, Superman notes that Mongol found a teleporter that still works. He's withdrawn. The Man of Steel remembers when Wonder Woman wanted to be called Diana. She's already told him that right now the world doesn't need Diana, it needs Wonder Woman. Clark says Wonder Woman already killed Maxwell Lord. The princess answers that that maniac murdered Ted Kord and was going to use Superman to do the same to Bruce. She had no other choice. The Bat tells her there's always a choice for people like them. For Diana, there wasn't. Sometimes there aren't any other options. Bruce says that kind of thinking is what leads to mind-wiping. Diana asks him to look at what's happening on the planet. Does he really believe humanity will overcome all this on its own? Bruce tells her she's lost her faith. She should have stayed on the island. To Diana, the world isn't as black and white as Bruce and Superman see it. And as for Batman, he should stop judging everyone except himself. He's the one who's lost his way. Superman tells her it's the other way around. She's the one who's lost hers. She's trying to save people she can't even relate to. He relates to them too much. He's not human, he's Superman. Batman tells him to start acting like it. Then, hell has broken loose on Earth and he's up here on the moon. The world needs him right now. Superman asks if he's supposed to tell people what to do. He's not a god. He's not like him, like Batman. He doesn't need to control everything. Batman says that after all these years he knows it's not about control. It's about doing everything possible. For Superman, it's about setting an example. Everyone admires him for everything he's done. If he tells them to fight, they will, but he has to inspire them, and he has to accept this. The last time he truly inspired anyone was when he was dead. They're done here. They need to withdraw. Elsewhere, the Watchers keep watching. Even the spirit of their great country can't endure the evil infecting this land. It's obvious. They saved it, but should they have? How will the world be saved this time if its three greatest hopes can't work together? But perhaps these Watchers can do it. Perhaps they can save everyone. He can even save her. He's sure of it. They're right. They gave them a gift that was rejected. They sacrificed everything for them. This must be done, mustn't it? I slam my fists against the wall for hours. My knuckles are nearly broken. My fingers are practically shredded, but I will never give up. And all of this feels like a job for Superman. Meanwhile, we go to San Diego. This is Animal Man, saying goodbye to his family. His connection to the animal world comes and goes lately. Now it's just gone haywire. Every time he borrows an animal's powers, the danger instinct takes over. Yesterday, he tried to borrow a rabbit's speed and ended up pounding his foot against the floor for an hour. Every creature on this planet wants to leave, and he needs to know why. Soon we see him appear in front of Cyborg. The trip made him dizzy. Cyborg says traveling in these orbs is actually fun. The first time, he was vomiting oil for 10 minutes. It's good to have him with them. Animal Man says it's good to be here, wherever here is. Donna calls this place New Cronus. It's an endless labyrinth, a combination of Tesseract tech and processors so advanced they make Cyborg look like a toy, but they're supposed to take them where they need to go. That place is the center of the universe, since it has changed. The ship's navigation units are recalibrating in response to a disturbance that just unbalanced the universe. They don't yet know its nature or what it means, but they can hear it. Thousands of aliens are begging for help, trapped in some kind of storm. Supergirl is with them. I can feel her heartbeat. It's in perfect sync with Power Girl's. A rocket brought her to Earth too, but there was no Superman to catch her in his arms. No one to be a father. No one to be a mother. Nothing but the void in this universe. She was tagged as a duplicate, an unknown, without any memory of what brought her here or who she really was. She believed she had no purpose, but in this reality, she may be the most important person on the planet. At least to me. She faces impossible situations. Even so, she never gives up. Neither will I. The clouds part. The yellow sun greets me. I can't help but smile as I draw near to her. It's been a long time, cousin. Too long. Superman arrives before Power Girl. Meanwhile, at the Daily Planet, Lois Lane is on the phone when news breaks. Bodies of heroes have been found bound at the Washington Monument. No one yet knows who is responsible, but the Pentagon blames the secret society of supervillains. Lois asks Clark if he heard that. Superman ignores the topic and tells her Bruce is right. He's always right. Lois asks again if he heard. This is the society's doing. Clark says he heard her. He wants to stay and talk for a bit. After a kiss, they part. It's true he wants to talk, but it's also time for action. Meanwhile, in Gotham City, the secret society is in discussion. They're supposed to need someone from the Marvel family for their mind wipe machine to work. Black Adam is ready to go after Mary Marvel. But on second thought, they don't have much time left, so the easiest thing would be to bring in the top tier, bring Black Adam himself. His connections to the society are too tenuous. Judgment is coming, Luthor is out. Elsewhere we're with Lex Luthor, who tells the person he's been communicating with, "You're not Lex Luthor." I'm Lex Luthor. And why can't I think straight? Why am I wearing this armor? What is happening to me? Suddenly he looks to the sky and sees Superman and Power Girl fly overhead. In the air, Kara asks the man who he is. He says he's Superman, but Power Girl tells him he's not the Superman she knows. To help Power Girl understand a little, he's going to give her some answers. She isn't alone. In fact, she never was. Soon he introduces his companions. This is Superboy Prime, and this is Alexander Luthor. Power Girl is stunned. She didn't expect to see Lex Luthor here. Superman says it's all right. This Luthor is a friend, from a very different place than the one they know. Luthor can see she's an aberration to this universe, just like they are. She was never supposed to survive. Superboy asks how that happened. Luthor says she could literally have fallen through a crack in reality itself as it was being remade. Or perhaps her interaction with the Anti-Monitor shielded them from the shifting timelines. Or maybe she's here by sheer will to live. His cousin has more of that than anyone on this Earth. Power Girl doesn't understand what he means by this Earth. Superman tells her that, like him, she's a survivor. Power Girl seems to remember nothing. Reality tried to recycle her existence, to force her to fit into its story any way it could. It could have scrambled her powers, her memories, her emotions. Kara asks what he means by survivor. Superman explains, she's a survivor of the multiverse. The universe was not always like this. It was fragmented. It all began at the dawn of time, billions of years ago. A being from OA looked back into infinity, hoping to witness the origin of creation, to learn how the universe was made, why it existed, and why we are here. But he failed, and his blasphemous actions corrupted the innate nature of the cosmos. Instead of a universe, a multiverse was born, an endless number of parallel worlds, similar in some ways and bizarrely different in others, all occupying the same space but vibrating at completely different frequencies. In two parallel universes, the planet Krypton exploded, and the last child of each world was sent to Earth. On one Earth, that Superman was Krypton's last son, Kal-El, and there, too, Kara was Krypton's last daughter. On another parallel Earth lived the other Superman of that world, and his cousin was Supergirl. My Earth gave birth to its own generation of heroes, the Justice Society of America. Then Kal-El's Earth saw its heroes emerge as the Justice League of America. For years we operated with no knowledge of the multiverse or parallel Earths, until the Flashes crossed the vibrational barrier on our two worlds and met for the first time. The League's Earth was called Earth 1. Our world, the Justice Society's, was Earth 2. We were gracious enough to let that naming stand, even though we were first. Eventually our teams met during a crisis. Soon we learned there were more parallel worlds, like Earth 3, home to Alexander Luthor, where his father, Lex Luthor, was the planet's only protector against evil versions of the Justice League. Earth Prime is where Superboy Prime came from. He was alone in a place without other superpowered heroes, and just as those worlds existed, there were others still. But as I said, the multiverse was never supposed to exist, and from its creation a being called the Anti-Monitor was born, a creature who wanted to destroy the multiverse and turn its power into his own antimatter. All but 5 Earths were destroyed before we could fight back. Back at the dawn of time, where we battled the Anti-Monitor, after a nearly endless war, he was destroyed. The universe was reborn as it was said it should have been, as one timeline, one Earth, one Superman. The other us, from Earth 2, were denied and erased from history. Others, like Jay Garrick, Alan Scott, and Power Girl, were inserted into the structure of Earth 1. Alexander Luthor, Superboy Prime, and I survived while everyone else we knew and loved perished. Thank God Alexander Luthor did something I can never repay. He saved my Lois from being erased from existence. He used the last of his dimensional abilities to create a place for us in this reborn universe. It was like heaven, as close as I could imagine. From our refuge, we watched this Earth grow. The potential was there, and at first it all began well, so full of hope. I felt confident the Earth was in good hands. But we soon learned something was inherently wrong. This new Earth was everything but better. A darkness seemed to spread, changing the lives of heroes. Some died, others lost their way. We watched for years, hoping they'd find inspiration again. But as we kept watching, things got worse. Our refuge began to tremble. Superman's account ends. He should never have turned his back on them. He should have tried to find a way back to his Earth sooner. Power Girl asks how they returned. Superboy says Superman nearly broke his hands. His knuckles were shredded. Superman bled to bring them back. Their escape was nothing short of a miracle. Even Alexander admits that. Kara asks why they're here. Why now? Superman asks the others to give him a minute alone with her. Luthor says of course, they need to study a few inconsistencies on this Earth anyway and figure out what these villains are planning. Kara asks what this place is. Superman tells her Alexander built it. It was his fortress on Earth too. The crystals respond to emotions and needs. From here they can see everything that happens. Kara asks if his woman, or whatever she is failing because of this Earth. Superman tells her no, she's dying. The woman here is the Lois Lane of his world. Kara still can't grasp it. It feels too strange, she's sorry. She simply doesn't remember her. Lois wakes, she does remember her. Kara tells her she doesn't know her. She's so sorry, but she can't remember. Once Lois touches her, Kara's memories flood back. Power Girl remembers, she isn't alone. She remembers everything, Superman and Lois. She sees the spare room with the daisy wallpaper, family dinners, nights telling stories about how they met, how he proposed on the rooftop, and so much more. The two of them treated her as if she were their daughter. Lois tells her that as far as they're concerned, she is their daughter. Elsewhere, we're with Bruce Wayne, reviewing recordings in the Batcave. Alfred arrives and says those cuts need to be treated and stitched. Bruce says later. Alfred wants to tend to him. Batman snaps and shouts, he said later. Alfred withdraws. There was one thing his father never wanted to be, and that was alone. Fortunately, he had his mother at his side, even in the worst moments. Batman is left alone. The computer no longer responds. Brother Eye is the one communicating with Bruce now. Bruce asks why it's fighting him. He built it to monitor metahumans around the world, to make sure they never acted illegally. Batman asks about the OMACs. Brother Eye says the Omni Mind and Community, the OMAC technology, was developed and implemented by Maxwell Lord once he interfaced with it. He injected more than 1.3 million sleeper agents around the world, capable of activation at any desired moment to combat metahumans. Batman disabled 60.7% of the OMAC population with an electromagnetic pulse, but he cannot fully deactivate them. He cannot deactivate Brother Eye. He can keep searching, but he won't find it. Brother Eye only wants to do what its creator commanded. The Eye protects this world from people like her, like Wonder Woman. Meanwhile, on Themyscira, Wonder Woman is battling multiple OMACs. Amazons are falling in combat. Her sisters are dying. Diana tells Artemis that most of these OMACs have unconscious people inside. Artemis asks what she suggests they do then. Lay down their arms. Or does she want them to die? Diana simply doesn't know. Back at the fortress, we return to Power Girl. It's so much to take in, but it's all wonderful. Cal tells her he hadn't seen Lois smile in a long time, and thanks Kara for that. But what's wrong with Lois? Superman says she's simply getting old. Her body was already weak, and traveling here made it worse. That's what this Earth does. This Earth is simply corrupt, and he can't understand how they live this way, without joy. Alexander has records showing him many things the people he works with have done, the things they've done to their enemies and to each other. They alter minds. They kill. He never understood why he survived when others didn't, or what his true purpose in this universe was. Not until now. When the universe was reborn, Earth 1 became the primary world. The remnants of the remaining worlds were inserted into it. But he finally realizes they saved the wrong Earth. He needs his cousin's support. Together they can save Lois. They can save her by taking her home. This dark, corrupt Earth must be forgotten, just as theirs was, so that the right Earth can return. We begin in San Diego. Mara tells Aquaman they need to get everyone to a dry place. Aquaman asks her what place that would be. More than 60 level, 5 storms and 3 have been reported just along the coasts of the United States. How the hell is that possible? Mara doesn't know, but if anyone can help hold back the seas, it's their heroes and their king. Black Manta arrives and tells him to fight all he wants. His kingdom, no matter where it is, will be his. Ocean Master says the strength of the society is greater than that of the king. Aquaman attacks. The society has just declared war. In Atlantis, they say they're wasting time. The city is under attack. The Atlanteans need soldiers, not spells. Suddenly the situation gets a bit more complicated. Well, actually a lot. The Spectre is here. Vengeance will be his. We're on the island of Themyscira. As we left off earlier, the OMACs are attacking the Amazons. They ready themselves to fight. Artemis knows they won't be able to finish them off. Every time they destroy one machine, another arrives to replace it. Diana tells her that her mother promised the Amazons that no one would ever take Themyscira again. She will find a way to stop this. A powerful strike is ready. The Purple Death Ray has been completed. Artemis asks if that means the war is over. Diana tells her no. Doesn't she understand? The war has just begun. From the Batcave, Batman is watching all of this. He asks Brother Eye if it's killing the Amazons. The Eye tells him yes. All of this is because of Wonder Woman and the Amazons. They represent a great threat that must be exposed. Batman tells Brother Eye to shut down the OMACs. He has to shut them down. The brother says the Truth and Justice program must be completed. Batman loses patience and grabs his chair to hurl it at the monitor. The Eye will show the world the truth. The Eye will bring justice to the world. The Eye will act exactly as Batman programmed it. The Bat tells it to wait. This isn't supposed to be happening. He can't breathe. He can't go on with this. He just wishes this could start over. As he says that, he's remembering several things that have weighed on him in his past. Someone new arrives and tells him he can start over. Batman wonders if this here is Superman. The Man of Steel tells him yes, but he isn't the one he knows. Not yet. Earth 2's Superman arrives before Batman. Elsewhere, we're at the Fortress of Solitude. Kara can't stop talking about them. People like Elena Wayne and Andrew Vincent, all those she once cared about. They no longer exist, but she remembers them all. Saying those words makes her sound like a crazy person. Lois tells her she sounds fine to her. Alexander is sorry to interrupt them, but he should run a few more tests, and then Lois should get some rest. She enjoyed talking with Kara. Power Girl asks her to get some sleep. She'll see her later. She is about to leave, not without first asking Alexander to take care of her. Luther tells her that taking care of her is his highest priority. She has been like a mother to them. Superboy Prime asks Power Girl if she's going to let her die. Kara doesn't understand what he means by that. Prime says the only way to save her is by bringing Earth 2 back. Will she help them with that or not? Kara wants to. She's just not sure how to manage it. The only thing she's doing right now is thinking about it. Prime doesn't get it. Why does she have to think about it? Long ago, Superman told Kara that the multiverse is unstable and that if they do this, there can only be one Earth. She needs to know everything that will happen on this Earth. Prime tells her this Earth isn't theirs. It's full of horrible people, and those heroes are just as bad. Especially that Superboy, Connor Kent. He had the life Prime had always dreamed of. He has friends and a girl who loves him. He does nothing to support them. That's not right. It's not fair. They did everything right and lost everything because of him. He doesn't want to lose Lois too. He can't bear it. Now he hands Power Girl one of his journals. He's read it thousands of times since they were sidelined. He wants Power Girl to read it. Maybe it will help her make a decision. Meanwhile, in El Paso, Texas, the city has been hit by the attacks. Different heroes across the world don't know what they're supposed to do. Buildings are collapsing, and these ones here aren't strong enough to stop it. That doesn't matter much, because this Earth's Superman has arrived to hold it up. He'll now use all his abilities to set it back as it was. There are volcanic eruptions across California. He has to go. Roke tells him not to worry. They've got everything covered from here. Superman is sure they do. Keep up the good work. Elsewhere, we're with Wally West. He was relaxing at home when suddenly the news comes on. There are violent images of Wonder Woman and her fellow Amazons again, broadcast from an unknown source. After years of preaching peace around the world on countless humanitarian missions in every country, one can't help but wonder if all that Wonder Woman stuff was a lie. A dozen super tornadoes have arrived in Kansas City, barely half a mile to the south. A full evacuation is underway. There's no other choice. Flash has to get out of here right now. The news reports the following. The tornadoes are dissipating now. There seems to be a red blur inside, and the strike of a lightning bolt. Flash has arrived to help. We're back in the Batcave, where Superman is telling Batman about Earth 2's situation. It was a truly wonderful place to live. Batman asks if he wants to bring that alternate Earth back. Superman says it was full of hope and love. The heroes acted like heroes. They made mistakes, but it was nothing like what happens here. Things have gotten out of hand. His Gotham City wasn't covered in crime and grime. Things were hard in those days, but the sun was always shining. Like the Commissioner, the Bruce Wayne he knew learned to live despite his parents' deaths. He opened his heart and married. He committed to Selina, and they even had a daughter, Elena Wayne. They later called her Huntress. Batman asks why he's telling him all this. Why him? Superman says that before the multiverse collapsed, the Batman he knew had died. Somehow, the death of his best friend hastened the end of Earth 2. He knows it's hard. He's angry and frustrated. He's unraveling because there's no one here with him on this Earth. But the world needs Superman and Batman together. If he comes with him, he promises he'll fix it, and he'll always be at his side. We're back with Wonder Woman, who explains the situation to Artemis. The Omacs are Brother Eye's eyes. He's showing all of this to the world, everything happening here. They see them the way Bruce and Clark see them. They have to shut down that weapon. They mustn't give a bad impression. Even if they stop this army, another will eventually come. Someone frightened by their power, seeking to destroy what they fear, or seeking to take what they have, thinking that strength will be theirs. Diana has failed her mission and, of course, has put her Amazon sisters at risk. More Omacs arrive. The target is located. There's no choice. Wonder Woman addresses the Amazons. They have to retreat. They must leave the island forever, and the best thing is to go far from man's world. She is asking them to leave this plane. They have to do it before more Omacs arrive, before more of their blood is on her hands. If they value their legacy, they will depart in peace. Everything is decided. Diana hopes the gods hear her prayers. But what about Diana? Will she accompany them? Well, no. She has things to do. Her destiny is not on this island. It never was. Her sisters must withdraw. Later we see the island disappear from this plane. Elsewhere we're with Lex Luthor. Black Adam tells him he's disappointed. They've captured Captain Marvel. There are things they should be focusing on instead of kidnapping those men and women for his delight. Luthor tells him this is what they agreed to. It's for justice. His machine needs specific test subjects. They don't want to turn it on and erase minds across the entire world, do they? Black Adam reminds him what he said. He needed one of the wizard's children, but Mary Marvel isn't here. Luthor knows, but these ones are here. This is a betrayal of Black Adam. He gets angry and tells him his blood will be next on his hands. Luthor tells him that when all this is over he won't even remember it. Now he needs someone else to continue his plans. He needs them to bring him Nightshade. Someone arrives. He's been tracking his signal for months, dragging it through a dozen different satellites, gathering information, trying to find where he was. Another Lex Luthor arrives here. He wants to know who the hell this is in front of him. The armored Luthor tells him he can't be Lex Luthor. He is Luthor. This one tells him he's right, because he's better. What is he trying to do? Why does he want to take his place? He needs to know who he is. He seems to be having trouble thinking. The Luthor who was betraying Black Adam thinks it's his proximity. Intellect has always been Luthor's strength, but his brain waves are much more advanced than his. They operate at an anti-frequency, and therefore, guess what? They're interfering with his cognitive functions. There's static in his ears, or a powerful headache. He has to tell him, Lex Luthor. The armored Luthor attacks him, and the other says that was stupid. To avoid confusion, we cut to Superman, who tells Batman he'll never be alone again. He's offering him a chance to start over. None of this is his fault. Everything he's done, everything he's set in motion, is because he felt he couldn't trust the people around him. And do you know why? Because he can't. But on his world it's different. Batman has a question. What will happen to everyone on Earth when he returns? Superman says they will be folded into its historical fabric. They won't die as such. They'll simply be replaced with Earth 2. But they will be better, and Superman never lies. He has to believe him. Batman asks about Dick Grayson. Is he a better man on his world than on his own? Superman lowers his head. Not he isn't. Batman doesn't believe him. He's not sure who this Superman is, but he doesn't believe him when he says he has the power to erase this planet. He can't let him do it. Superman tells him there's a problem with that kryptonite ring he's threatening him with. That ring was given to him by this Earth Superman, but Earth 2's doesn't hurt him physically. That ring symbolizes the paranoia and distrust that will destroy his world if he allows it. With his heat vision, Superman destroys the ring. A message arrives for Batman. 49 seconds until Black Box 73 is scanned and repaired. We're back with Lex Luthor. His blasts have no effect on him. Surely he's noticed. Lex says yes, but his computer, on the other hand, does. All of this was nothing but an illusion by Alexander Luthor of Earth 3. He already told him he is better than the one from this Earth. Now Superboy Prime will take him and destroy that armor. Prime tells him he's evil and Alexander confirms it. He's useless to all of them. There's no point in leaving him alive. He has to be erased. Before Prime finishes him with his heat vision, Luthor teleports. It was probably a short-range teleporter. Prime asks whether to search for him or let him go. He knows what he can do with the power of the yellow sun. Alexander tells him no, not until the tower is ready. Elsewhere, Power Girl was reading Lois Lane's journal. It's not that Clark has made this life more tolerable. There's only a sadness he doesn't know. Both of them miss her. Her smile and laugh. They terribly miss life with Kara. Kara has returned to Lex Luthor. They need to talk about the Justice Society and this Earth Superman. She believes that by working together they can save Lois and also Earth 1 and 2. Upon arriving at the Fortress of Solitude, she finds no one. Batman is checking Black Box 73, the Watchtower's teleportation log, storage circuits scanned and repaired. What they both see is something they can't believe. Power Girl is looking at the Crisis Tower where the Martian Manhunter is along with other characters. Kara tries to help, but suddenly she is attacked. In the Batcave, Batman watches the recordings. Ted thought there was a conspiracy in motion. Maybe he was right. Maybe none of this was a coincidence. But who would be powerful enough to orchestrate all this? He was Superboy Prime. His mission was to take the Martian Manhunter alive and destroy the Watchtower. At the Fortress of Solitude, Alexander asks Prime to bring Kara. Prime already knew she wasn't going to help them. Alexander tells him Power Girl and Superman will help them, whether they want to or not. Alexander Luthor is watching on screen with Superboy Prime as Bloodhaven falls. While at the Crisis Tower, Kara asks what they're doing. Luthor tells her they are doing what they need to survive, erasing everything that is bad. Kara tries to attack him with her heat vision. Alexander has to get them out of here to free everyone. Superboy thought she was with them, but he's realized she isn't. She belongs in this place. She's a traitor. Luthor asks Superboy to calm down. They've worked too hard to let emotions ruin all this. They must remember they have a responsibility on their shoulders. Kara asks what responsibility? What the hell is going to happen here? Luthor has devised more than 78,000 different ways, and this is the most efficient. Kara asks if all this is to bring Earth 2 back. She wants to help save Lois, but he has to let her talk to this Earth's heroes. They could work together. Luthor doesn't believe they can work as a team. Her friends are incapable of that, which is why he's doing this, to a certain extent, alone. She still doesn't understand, does she? Superboy, and he didn't arrive here with Superman and Lois. They have been coming to this miserable universe for some time. For the last several months, Superman has been concerned for Lois, which gave Superboy Prime and him the freedom to finish observing the world, set apart for so long, and start acting. It finally became possible for them to use his science and Superboy's strength to escape the heaven that had cursed them. The first task was to find and retrieve the Anti-Monitor's body. It would serve as the base for the machine made of positive and negative matter. Meanwhile, while Superboy was in deep space, Luthor impersonated this Earth's Lex Luthor with a simple hologram. He gathered the Society of Villains, convincing them the machine would destroy the minds of all their enemies. The Society helped by gathering the various individuals he needed to use his machine. Each one contains a specific vibratory frequency hidden in their genetic codes. Ray even inherited the code from his father's exploits before the multiverse collapsed, when he and the Freedom Fighters were on the world called Earth X. With them, the tower would be complete, but they still needed the fuel and the program. The fuel would come from this universe's magic. Once, on one of his first trips here, he recruited the only other person on Earth who remembered the multiverse. That was Psycho Pirate. With Superboy Prime's help, he recovered the Black Diamond. Psycho Pirate helped orchestrate the seduction of the Spectre by manipulating his enemy, Eclipso. Without a soul to anchor him, even the Spectre was vulnerable to Psycho Pirate, confused and easily disturbed. He began a war on magic. He tried to destroy it, but in fact reduced it to pure, unaligned magic, neither order nor chaos. Once the wizard Shazam was dead, he became part of this new magic and a conduit to obtain it. For the program, Luthor was the one who gave sentience to Batman's brother Eye. He helped it evolve a brain capable of reordering the multiverse and redirecting the tower's energy to its target. The Omax will now respond to Alexander Luthor's orders, just as the Society did, and all this while Superboy was doing his part, moving planets like chess pieces across the universe, igniting a new intergalactic war, shifting the center away from OA, where Earth 2's universe center was, allowing his tower to open an access port. With all this, Alexander Luthor will be able to create a new Earth, a perfect Earth. If Kara's wondering, Earth 2 isn't the one he plans to create. Earth 2 is only a step toward his goal. Kara blames him for the most recent events that have unsettled this Earth. Wonder Woman killing Maxwell Lord, Batman struggling with the Omax, and Superman paranoid because he hasn't managed to hold them together. Luthor tells her she's not wrong. They are the ones who did this to themselves. That is the true tragedy of all this, and he proved himself right. These heroes are not capable of protecting their Earth. Its destruction will, in the end, be inevitable. Kara tells him when her cousin realizes this, there will be no way he can continue. Luthor tells her his crystals keep their activities in this area of the fortress invisible to Superman's senses, but she needn't worry. He needs a Superman alive. All this time, Alexander has learned that no matter where they're from or which reality they come from, when a Luthor works alongside a Superman, they will always be opposites. That's why they cannot work as a team, so he had to accept this. Kara tells Superboy not to let him continue with this. Luthor tells her to be quiet. She has to sleep like the others. After a kiss, he puts her to sleep. Superboy Prime asks Luthor if he can leave now. There's something he promised him, and he has to fulfill it right now. Luthor gives him the signal. He can leave here now. Elsewhere, we're with Batman, who arrives to Nightwing. Bloodhaven is suffering an attack, and Nightwing can't do anything to help. Batman tells him this is only one of hundreds of disasters happening at this moment, and he wanted to come to make sure Nightwing was okay. Superman is already at the center of this with other heroes who can withstand it. They're looking for survivors. Batman wants to talk to him about survivors from somewhere else. He needs his help. Elsewhere, Earth 2's Superman has arrived at the Fortress of Solitude. He asks Lex Luthor how she is. Alexander tells him she's in grave danger. Superman asks about Superboy and Kara. Luthor tells him they're helping to repair the return of his Earth, though something tells him Bruce Wayne refused to help them. Superman tells him yes, Luthor was right about him. He's strong like the man he knew, just a bit lost. But he was right. Everyone is the worst on this Earth. Just like Richard Grayson, they're as good and strong as the one they know. He grew beyond his role as Robin. Grayson is the exception to the rule, but for the moment, with time, he could become as corrupt as the others. Luthor tells him Lois is going to die and only has a few hours left. She will die unless Earth 2 returns. He knows it's hard, but there's no time. There is no other option. If he helps him, she'll be home and very healthy soon. Meanwhile, we're in Smallville with Superboy Prime. He can't believe it. This sun feels so great. The Kents can't believe what they're seeing. Prime tells them not to worry. It's a pleasure to help them with all this. Superboy walks out of the house and asks who he is. Prime tells him he's his replacement. He came to this place, so Superboy will admit it. He has to admit he's given up. Admit it's time for a new Superboy to sort out what's right and what's wrong. He is the Superboy this Earth needs. Prime insists he acknowledge it, but Superboy says nothing. He just can't believe he wears such tight underwear. He has to back off before he gets hurt. Well, if he won't listen, then he'll give him a hard hit. Superboy Prime gets angry. This one in front of him isn't Superboy. The blow is so hard it sends him to another part of the city, far from the farm. Superboy has hit the ground. Prime keeps landing heavy blows. He doesn't seem as strong as he looks. He's just an imitation, everyone knows it. This one here is the real Superboy, and now that he can, he's going to take his place. The battle is interrupted. Krypto appears behind Prime and gives him a hard bite on the shoulder. Prime tells him to get off. Now he grabs him and smashes him into the ground, then delivers a hard kick to his head. The kick is powerful and sends Krypto flying far from this place. Superboy is watching all of this, and Prime has done it. He's managed to make him angry. This one here has to come and give him the fight he's looking for. Elsewhere in the Batcave, Batman tells Nightwing everything he's discovered. Those infiltrators from another Earth. Lex Luthor of Earth 3 working with Superboy Prime. Nightwing asks why Superman would do this. Why put all of this at risk? Batman tells him it's to save what he loves. As for why he came to Nightwing, it's because everyone else trusts him. They always do. He prioritizes maintaining relationships, something Batman has neglected. Well then, Nightwing will help him. Only there's a problem. Communications are almost all down. There is one place where he can contact everyone on the West Coast, the Titan's Tower. He has to get out of here running. Well, he'll fly. He'll borrow the Batplane. Dick Grayson is about to leave, but Batman wants to ask him a question. In the early years, has he forgotten whether those were good for Nightwing or not? Dick Grayson stops and with a smile tells him his early years were the best. Back to the Superboy's battle. Prime has just thrown a car at Superboy. He doesn't know how he always managed to avoid it. He fooled everyone into believing he was Superboy. He doesn't even have a cape. After the cars explode, Prime reaches him and grabs him by the neck. But for some reason Superboy is laughing. The smile is because he sent a signal to the Titans. The Titans are assembled. Wonder Girl has arrived in time to grab her friend and take him away. Cassie says Beast Boy brought the Doom Patrol. Kid Flash brought the Justice Society. The question is, who is this guy here? Prime is taking heavy hits. He asks them what they're doing. He isn't bad. They need to get out of here, because if they don't move, he'll move them. Elsewhere, we're in Gotham City's morgue. The coroners can't believe this situation. A guy survived a meteor shower. A superhero crashed through the roof of his car, and he only ended up dying from being shot in the back with a G224. The doctors step out, but, surprisingly, Crispus wakes up. His chest begins to open and the specter appears here. He doesn't understand why he's come to this place. No, he won't go unwillingly. He's been confined for too long. He's suffered. He regrets his actions. He repents. He has served him faithfully. He won't stray again. He begs God not to leave him here. He was deceived. He was seduced. God must forgive him. Too late. The specter is in a new host. We return to Superboy Prime, who is being attacked from all sides. Prime begs them to stop hitting them, but he's the only one striking without reason. Prime only wanted to talk to Superboy, and all these people showed up. Panda comes up behind him and tells him he's the only idiot who caused all this. Prime gets angry. He is not an idiot. And with a single blow, he knocks Panta's head off. He doesn't understand what's happening. He didn't mean to do any of this. The death causes everyone present to fly into a rage. Prime will pay with his life for everything he's done. Full of tears and blood, he begs their forgiveness. He didn't mean this. He only wanted to talk. Pérez uses her powers to attack him. Prime doesn't understand why they're attacking him, why they're doing this. He doesn't want to hurt them, but if they keep this up, then he'll have to fight back. They're ruining it. Prime grabs Risk by the neck and rips his arm off. This battle against the Titans, the Doom Patrol, and the Justice Society is interrupted. We only see a red lightning streak pass by. The Flashes have arrived. They now grab him and carry him off at maximum speed. Superboy asks them to stop. They have to let him go. Jay Garrick tells Wally that his tendons are tearing. He won't be fast enough for this. Wally tells him they only needed his help at the start. Jay falls back and wishes them good luck. They open a portal and enter the Speed Force with Superboy Prime. Kid Flash asks who he is and why he did all this. Wally tells him not to stop running. Something starts happening to Flash. He appears in front of his wife. He tells her she has always been his Kane, the one who grounded him many times. He loves her more than anything in the world, but he has to keep running. Linda asks if he's running into the Speed Force. Wally tells her no, it's not the Speed Force. He thinks it's another place. He has to leave her. He loves her. Linda begs Wally not to do it. His family will be with him. Wally gives his wife a kiss. They have to say goodbye. Something starts happening to the twins. They all fill with energy. Then we only see a great lightning bolt. Elsewhere, Kid Flash keeps running. He asks where Wally went. He can't do this alone. Superboy Prime tells him he's right. He's even weaker than the rest. He's observed him and he's always been the stupidest. He's a stupid kid and now they left him alone. Kid Flash lands a hard punch. He isn't stupid and he's going to keep hitting him. Someone new is about to arrive. Flash is here too and grabs Superboy Prime by the neck. Bart can't believe it. His grandfather is here. Bart doesn't have to be afraid. Wally is waiting for him. All the speedsters grab Superboy Prime. They have to get him out of here. Prime tells them they made him do this. They can't get rid of him so easily. When he grows up, he will be Superman. Doesn't anyone understand? He will be Superman. With everything he has, Bart helps push him, and they get rid of Superboy. Elsewhere, at the Fortress of Solitude, Alexander is with Psycho Pirate. It's time to finish this and activate the Crisis Tower. The reason Black Adam is here is because they need to bring the fuel. Psycho Pirate asks Black Adam to look at him. In spite of his arrogance and power, he sees a great fear within him. He has to say the name of the one who began all his fear. Black Adam says it, Shazam. The great lightning bolt strikes the Crisis Tower. Everything begins. Alexander prepares. Everything wrongly done will be undone, and he will fix it all. While Alexander handled all this, the Titans were with the Justice Society, but suddenly they disappear. At the fortress, Superman was with Lois Lane when suddenly another Earth appears. Superman and Lois vanish and reappear on their Earth. They're here. They're home. It seems Lex Luthor has done it. We begin on Earth 2 with the Justice Society. No one understands what's happening here. Where did everyone go? There's something strange about this place. It seems as if it was just constructed. The amounts of oxygen, silicon, and aluminum are in perfect balance. All of the Earth's pollution is gone. While the society keeps investigating what's going on, we now shift to Lois and Superman. The Man of Steel tells her it's okay. They're back in their own metropolis, in their home, on their Earth, the right Earth. Lois feels happy. This air is so warm. Superman tells her she must still be disoriented from the other trip. She has to open her eyes and look around. They did it. They're home, and thanks to that, Superman will be able to save Lois. Now we're on Earth 1. Booster and Jaime were walking through some caves when they suddenly fall into a trap. Booster tells Jaime not to worry. This is perfectly normal. Normal for whom? Well, for Batman. Who is this kid, and what's he doing here? Booster says he's Jaime Reyes, the new Blue Beetle. Jaime says he's not the Blue Beetle. He's nobody. But Booster tells him he is. He has to see this. The scarab starts crawling all over his body, and Jaime becomes the new Blue Beetle. Jaime asks why everything looks so weird. Batman asks if he actually has the scarab. Booster says technically the scarab has him. Booster is here to help Batman. He knows the Bat is trying to launch a full assault on Brother Eye. Booster Gold has found different people who could help with this, and has already called them to come. He managed to know whom to contact thanks to historical records. They told him whom to choose, but they also told him the satellite is hidden. He'd never find it. But thanks to this kid, the new Blue Beetle, they might have a chance to defeat Brother Eye. Elsewhere, we're at Lex Luthor's laboratories, where he has Superboy after the brutal beating Superboy Prime gave him. Superboy's double, Connor, sent him into this chamber, and the Lex Luthor double thinks he's smarter than the one from this Earth. But to solve all his problems, he had to go north, and was able to review his technology. Back on Earth 2, Superman and Lois are amazed by this. When they were married, everyone asked Superman the same question. You're Superman. Why Lois Lane? He knew she was the ideal girl for him the moment he met her. Lois was brutally honest, curious as a cat, and you could never get the last word in. She was the most human woman he'd ever known. But deep down, she was more super than Clark could ever be. Suddenly something starts happening to Lois. She collapses to the ground. Clark asks her what's wrong. They brought her to this Earth, so she could be okay. She has to be okay. Lois tells him she lived an absolutely wonderful life with him. It's not that Lois is giving up. She's grateful for the extra years they had. Superman tells her they'll have more. He couldn't save his world before, but he will save her. That's what he does. That's what he always does. Superman always saves Lois Lane. He can't be a survivor of another world without Lois. Lois was saying some words to him, but she can't go on any longer. Superman says this can't end like this. She has to finish saying what she was trying to tell him. After so much fighting, this can't end like this. Everything he did with Lex Luthor, he did it so she could be safe, so she could stay alive. He has to be strong. Superman's words are useless. Lois Lane has died, and we get a scene like in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Superman begins to scream loudly, and while he's screaming on Earth 1, Superman there manages to hear it. Meanwhile in Boston, several people were looting places to steal televisions. The store owners were trying to defend their property, but the people were armed and started shooting. Wonder Woman arrived in time and prevented anyone from being hurt. Diana asks why they loot and make a scene when people need help. Are you ready to kill someone over a television? The people ask who she is to give them orders. Diana is a hypocrite. She can't tell them how to live. Someone shoots at Wonder Woman. She easily uses her bracelets and blocks the shots. People start running. They have to get away from her. Diana didn't intend for them to be afraid of her. She was only trying to help. Someone arrives in an invisible plane. Wonder Woman wonders if it's her mother. Well, no, she's afraid it's not. This person's name is Diana Prince, and the fate of the universe is within her grasp. We're on Earth 2. The Earth 1 Superman has finally found someone. He heard his screams. He heard him crying out for Lois. Okay, time out. To avoid having to keep saying Earth 1 Superman and Earth 2 Superman, I'm going to call the Earth 1 Superman and the Earth 2 Kal-El. Okay, continuing. Kal-El asks Superman if he came to this Earth. Superman isn't sure which Earth this is. He needs help, and that's why he came. Kal-El says this is all his fault, isn't it? He brought corruption with him, spreading it like a disease. He can't allow that to continue. Superman is responsible for his wife's death. Kal-El grabs a car and goes to ram him with it. Superman lands a hard punch. He hasn't killed anyone. Kal-El replies that Lois was the only one among them who still trusted Superman, but he failed her. He took her away from his side. Filled with tears, Kal-El is about to keep fighting Superman. In the Crisis Tower, Psycho Pirate asks Alexander Luthor if Lois Lane has died. Luthor tells him she was never going to survive. It's a price for the future. He really will miss her. Psycho Pirate feels a twinge of pain inside. Luthor tells Psycho Pirate to watch. The tower has been activated. He needs to get as far away from it as possible, and he'll be teleported to Earth too, like the others from this planet. Psycho Pirate asks about Superboy Prime. Isn't he worried that he's no longer here? Luther says Prime served his purpose. He has everything he needs. Elsewhere, we're with the Wonders. The one who arrived turned out to be the Earth 2 Wonder Woman. She explains everything that's happened to Diana. Likewise, to avoid confusion and name mix-ups, I'll call the Earth 2 Wonder Woman, and the Earth 1 simply Diana. Wonder Woman explains to Diana everything that's happened with the Earths. She comes from another place and neither of them has much time. Superman needs her help. Diana says Superman doesn't want any help from her. Wonder Woman didn't say wants, she said needs help. And for Diana to start helping, she has to try not to be so perfect. She's been a princess, a goddess, an ambassador, and a warrior, but the one thing she hasn't been in a long time is human. Superman still needs her. Despite all the flaws in humanity, there are also so many strengths. She has to remind them of that. Everyone makes mistakes, even Superman. Back at the Battle of the Supermen, Kal-El lands a heavy blow on Superman. He won't let him hurt anyone else. Superman answers that there's no one in this place. This city is empty. Kal-El says there is, and it's all his fault. Suddenly the fight is interrupted. Wonder Woman has arrived, and with her lasso of truth, she restrains Kal-El. Kal-El begs her to take it off. Wonder Woman only came to talk and wants the truth. Kal-El tells her he doesn't need her magic lasso to tell the truth. It's what the people of his Earth do. Always speak the truth. The truth is that their Justice League lobotomized their adversaries. Their Batman built a satellite that spawned an army that killed dozens. Their Wonder Woman killed Maxwell Lord. And worst of all, Superman could have stopped this before it started. He should have. Instead, when the universe needed its greatest heroes, they refused to remain together. He had the chance to make this Earth the perfect world. He had the potential to do it, and he wasted it. That's why Kal-El is here. It's the reason his Lois died. Diana asks if this was all about returning to his perfect Earth. If Kal-El is from this Earth, then it can't be perfect, because a perfect Earth doesn't need a Superman. Kal-El was about to argue back, but he realizes it. His world isn't perfect, it never was. Now he understands. In the Crisis Tower, Psycho Pirate realizes that the ex-Luthor has heroes from different Earths. But what about this one here? Luthor says he is Breach, the Captain Atom of Earth 8, an Earth that, if the multiverse had continued to exist, would have been the home of Kyle Rayner, Helena Bertinelli, and Jason Rush. The men and women connected to the tower will help him reform the primary Earths, but he also needs the rest of the multiverse back. He needs thousands and thousands of worlds. Worlds he can cleanse like scattered sand, one grain at a time, combining and mixing until he finds it. Until he finds the perfect Earth. Luthor asks Brother Eye to prepare to receive and redirect. Brother Eye processes the vibrational frequencies. Psycho Pirate still doesn't get it. Why are they still hiding their actions from Superman? It might be a good deception, but how long will they keep it up? On Earth 2, Kal-El went to Lois Lane. A perfect world doesn't need a Superman. Luthor tells Psycho Pirate he hasn't said anything because he needs him alive. The Earth 2 Superman is the key to bringing the rest of the multiverse back. For a reason he can't understand, much less explain, everything comes from Superman. Brother Eye activates the programs. They're exporting fuel from Earth 1 to Earth 2. The target has been located and locked on. All the Earths are aligning, and all the Supermen begin to suffer. Something starts happening in space. It's filled with parallel Earths. While all this with the Earths is going on, in Tokyo, the Flash has managed to get out of the Speed Force. Remember, he'd been trapped after running with Superboy Prime and Kid Flash. Wally is back, but they have to warn everyone. They have to listen to him. They couldn't keep him contained. He's escaped, and he's getting closer. The one he's referring to is Superboy Prime, who has just returned and now sports a new suit of armor. We begin on Earth 2. Kal-El is grieving the loss of his beloved wife, Lois Lane. Superman comes to him and says that if they share anything beyond the uniform, it's that he knows how much Kal-El loved her, and he's sorry. Kal-El rises. He made a terrible mistake in backing Lex Luthor. Wonder Woman arrives. We all make mistakes, but it's not too late to learn from them. He has to realize that if he replaces his world, he'll be throwing out all the good along with all the bad. Kal-El asks her how she can still have faith in their world. Superman says it's because that world still has faith in them. Kal-El knows there's work to do. Their Earth was splintered again in a multiverse made of thousands of worlds. But the multiverse is unstable. The worlds grow weaker and weaker as they divide, and if they aren't brought back together, and soon, the entire universe will explode again in a big bang. Everything will be destroyed. They need to bring Earth 1 back to stop it. Diana asks which of all these is Earth 1. Elsewhere, on the other worlds, other versions of the heroes are asking what's going on here. It's all chaos, and Lex Luthor keeps running his experiments. In the Crisis Tower, the Psycho Pirate asks if he's found it yet. Luthor says no. The Psycho Pirate can feel them. Beings woven from the fabric of Earth 1 and Earth 2, dragged from their eternal rest, reborn in pain, and given essence. Destroyed by the billions at a time. Luthor says he's the one who planted this garden. He has every right to harvest it. Meanwhile, outside the Fortress of Solitude, Superboy is with Nightwing and Wonder Girl. Hundreds of Omacs surround this tower. They have to be careful if they want to get close to the Crisis Tower. Nightwing sees some of his friends wired into it. If they free them, they can get some extra help. The Titans move out. They have to take advantage of Luthor being distracted to rescue Power Girl. Superboy lands a punch on the Psycho Pirate to knock him away from here. Brother Eye comes online. New targets acquired. Alpha Subject Superboy. Alpha Subject Wonder Girl. Beta Subject Dick Grayson. As the battle kicks off, elsewhere in space, Batman and a group of heroes handpicked by Booster Gold are about to strike Brother Eye. Jaime realizes the Bat has lost it. The Bat begins organizing the entire attack. Sasha has to jack into Oracle and upload every computer virus on Earth into Brother Eye's system. Try to keep it from shutting down artificial gravity. Black Lightning must fry every circuit he can. Black Canary, get to the monitor room. Use your sonic scream to blind Brother Eye. Oliver asks what about him. Why on earth would Batman call a guy who can only shoot trick arrows? Batman says just to see if he'd say yes. So this is about the brave and the bold. It's got his eyes misting over. We're back with the Titans. Every time they get close enough to Geoff Johns, 10 Omacs get in the way. Superboy will try to clear a path. Luthor keeps searching. Earth 3, his home. Maybe there's something there. Maybe Superman was right. Maybe Earth 2 had some moral value, something pure for the mix. In the distance, Donna Troy takes in the situation. A few seconds will make the difference. That's what the Titans meant. Now they see it. Superman and Wonder Woman are going to die. Everyone has to keep track of Kyle Rayner. They have to focus all their power together. They might not know how to stop it, but they can hurt it. Alexander keeps going. Superman, the greatest hero of Earth 2. His father, Lex Luthor, the greatest hero of Earth 3. The universe says Superman and Luthors are destined to be at odds. Maybe the universe is wrong. He could unite them. It would work. It has to work to preserve reality. We're with Firestorm. Professor Stein tells Jason to look at the molecular structure of his target. Those hands are made of something called antimatter. It changes stars and lightning, changes everything it passes through into a kind of raw positive matter. Something happens to Lex Luthor. Diana asks what just happened. Superman says Alex almost completely merged Earth 2 with the other one, but something stopped it. Luthor asks Superman if this is what he does. He'll find Earth 2 again, and this time he'll crush it. Suddenly Nightwing reaches Luthor and smashes him, knocking him off the tower. Nightwing isn't alone. Power Girl and the others have been freed. Kara tells Luthor he has a lot to answer for. Cassie wants to free Black Adam too. Superboy asks if she's joking, but this is serious. They have to free him right now. Kara attacks Luthor. Where is her cousin? Where is Lois? Alexander tells her they no longer needed them alive, same as any of them. The Psycho Pirate arrives to defend Luthor. He's going to enrage Kara, so angry she'll punch the lightning until it dies. She has to hit the light on her right. Black Adam gets to the Psycho Pirate. Before the pirate can say anything, Adam drives his fingers through the pirate's eyes. No more silly faces. Kara asks if that was necessary. Black Adam says absolutely. Suddenly, both of them are hit hard. We're with Nightwing. He keeps seeing replicated Earths. He doesn't know how they'll shut it down, so they'll just have to scratch the tower. It looks like Black Adam and Kara are in trouble. The one who struck them was Superboy Prime. Prime assumes Black Adam is one of the toughest guys around here, but he doesn't look so tough. Adam says he doesn't care if he's a boy. Today he dies. Prime shrugs it off. Magic hurts. Actually, no, it tickles. Superboy Prime is done with Black Adam, so with a brutal blow, he sends him flying. Prime asks where he went. Luthor says Adam moved too far from the tower. He was transported back to Earth 5. Prime asks why he can't be transported like they are, why he can't go home. Luthor says he has to theorize. Prime has somehow been changed to his core. Prime says it's because they made him change, and he didn't want to. Luthor asks where Flash took him, and what's with that new armor. Prime says he designed it after strapping the anti-monitor's harnesses to the tower. It's an energy collector that feeds him yellow sunlight. The Flash has imprisoned him for years under red sunlight, but he found a way out. He always finds a way out. The Titans are trying to destroy the tower before it completes its search. Prime says his search for the perfect Earth is over. He'll forget the mixing and the study. He'll find his Earth. He'll do anything to bring it back. He'll do whatever it takes. John Jones interrupts. But this one here is called Martian Manhunter, and if he alone survives today, there will be a good reason for it. The Martian lands a heavy blow. More heroes arrive and attack with light, but it seems the ratio at which they're hitting him isn't stopping him. If light doesn't bother this monster, they have to try something else. Maybe darkness will hurt him. Superboy shouts that they have to drive the darkness away, push it back. But after those attacks, we see a great white flash from Superboy Prime. In space, Brother Eye tells Batman his friends will fail. Batman says his friends can take care of themselves. But Brother Eye wasn't talking about the ones here. He meant the ones on Batman's world. Manhunter, Power Girl, and his favorite, Dick Grayson. He's just a boy of flesh and blood trying to fight a boy of steel. Brother Eye wonders if Batman will worry about what happens to him next. Back at the Crisis Tower, Cassie is cornered by Mini-Omax. Superboy Prime arrives and knocks Con-El down. Now Prime stands before Nightwing. The Boy of Steel asks if Nightwing really thinks he can fight him. All those Titans thought so, those stupid Titans. He has to tell him a secret. Last time he didn't even try. Superboy grabs him from behind. Last time he didn't try either, and this will be round 2. On the satellite, Brother Eye, the ultimate brother, tells Batman that even if Batman shreds his brain, he's already transferring his memory to hundreds of computers aboard the satellite. Batman is just wasting his time. Batman says no, Brother Eye is wasting his time. He's not here to wipe Brother Eye's memory. He's the one who built Brother Eye and installed a limited propulsion system to help adjust its orbit. He's here to distract it. One of his friends just activated that system. Brother Eye has been knocked out of orbit. It's over. Brother Eye can't believe it. If he falls, then Batman will fall too. Alpha Subject Bruce Wayne, Batman. The creator will fall with Brother Eye. Outside, John Stewart realizes the Omax are falling apart, splitting. He sees something inside. In the satellite's interior, Brother Eye asks Batman why he's doing this, why he's trusting all these heroes. He'll never be able to trust them after what they did to him. Batman will take that risk. Green Lantern Hal Jordan has arrived to rescue Batman. Once they're outside, Batman asks if he remembers where Superman's fortress used to be. Jordan says yes, so Batman asks him to take him there now. In the Crisis Tower, Superboy doesn't understand why Cassie wants to fight him. She's just wasting her time, which has already run out. When they bring his world back, they'll have real heroes again. Luthor keeps searching for where Earth Prime is. Superboy keeps fighting Cassie. On his Earth, the heroes are well-mannered, brave, and honest. No one will know what he had to do to bring his Earth back. No one. Superboy steps in and lands a hard punch. He'll let Prime judge him. He'll let him hit him. But he won't let him go after his girlfriend, his family, or his world. He refuses to allow that. Prime blasts him with heat vision, and Superboy answers with a crushing punch to the face. Prime asks what those words mean. He probably thinks he's smart, but he isn't. His world just ended. He is the true new Superboy. He will be. The battle is getting worse and has reached the Crisis Tower. Superboy had grabbed Prime and slammed him into it, causing massive destruction. And with it, all of the former Luthor's plans have begun to fall apart. But after all that, what happened to our heroes? What happened to Superboy? Cassie searches until she finds him beneath the rubble. With what little strength he has left, Superboy says that Superboy Prime told him he wasn't the real Superboy, but he was wrong. Superboy tells Wonder Girl that he just forgot for a little while, that they all forgot, and asks her not to let them forget again. Cassie tells him everything will be okay. He did it. He saved the world. Superboy can't go on. His words fade, and we see him die, surrounded by his friends. We begin with Superman, who blames himself after Superboy's death. All of them should have been here to help Superboy. They should have been here. Batman says he's going to make sure this never happens again. They learned it from him. They learned it from all of them. Kara asks about Lois Lane. Kal-El tells her what happened, and she asks why they keep on living. He thought he knew the answer, to make this world a better place. And all of that because he believed they couldn't do it. He thought her Superboy didn't deserve to wear that symbol on his chest, but he chose to back the wrong Superboy. All this time he tried to silence the one who was noble. Hal Jordan mentions they got a report from John. His ring just confirmed it. The society has destroyed every metahuman prison on the planet. They've declared war. They say that if Superman's city falls, then others will fall too. Meanwhile, we're with Superboy Prime. He doesn't even recognize most of these villains. It looks like they're being used to carry out Lex Luthor's new plan, to conquer this Earth instead of replacing it. But he doesn't like Earth 1. Luthor tells him this isn't Earth 1. It really never was. And now this unified world, this new Earth has been altered again. They've changed beats in its history. Wonder Woman helped found the Justice League this time. Batman still fights in Gotham City even though the killer of his parents was caught. There are archived rumors of Superman's exploits before his debut in Metropolis, and that's just the start. Superboy Prime doesn't care about this world's history. He just wants Earth Prime back. Luthor tells him they can't bring it back this time. Superboy destroyed the Crisis Tower, and that's what they needed to restore it. Doomsday was about to attack the heroes who were fighting, but before that could happen, the Justice League arrives to help. The two Supermen strike Bizarro. Batman goes after Slade. The Green Lanterns hit Sinestro. It's good to fight alongside the Justice Society again. Lex Luthor takes advantage of all this and attacks Power Girl. Superman arrives to defend her and confront him. Lex knew Lois was going to die. She was like a mother to Lex and Superboy. How could he do that to her? Why did he use them so he could keep pushing his plans? Luthor says it's because he is the son worthy of his father, the only hero in a world full of villains. His view of the world had him calculating the society's war plans. Superboy Prime arrives and helps Lex Luthor. At this point, Luthor has to step away from his plans. He already said he doesn't want this Earth, he doesn't want anything the imposter had here. Prime was about to land a blow on Wonder Girl, but we only see a bolt shoot by. Someone arrives and tells him he murdered Connor. Flash arrives and lands a hard hit on Superboy Prime. Wonder Girl asks what is going on here. Bart tells her it's a long story. He's wearing his grandfather's suit because it was the only thing he could do to survive the trip back. And he was the only one of them who could still run. He came back to warn everyone, but when he returned, he collapsed and passed out in Tokyo. He had no idea Superboy Prime would come after him again, after his friend Connor. He's a damned killer. Prime says he isn't, and everything will be better when he becomes the only hero in this universe. He'll blow the planet away to pieces. He's going to punch through the planet at the speed of light. There will be a new Big Bang, and everything will start over, and he'll be the only one left alive. Superboy Prime leaves planet Earth in search of the Guardians of the Universe. The Martian Manhunter has read Superboy's mind, as well as theirs. He's heading to the planet away to destroy the universe. Everyone who can needs to head for the skies to face him. Several heroes arrive, but no one can hurt him. Magic can't harm him. Kal-El tells him Alexander deceived them. This whole time he'd been deceiving both of them. There's still time to stop this madness. Superboy knows everything. He always knew from the very beginning. He'll be the only one who can end it all. Now he's leaving. He's faster than a bullet. The Lanterns know they're losing sight of him. They have to catch him as fast as they can. Meanwhile on Earth, Batman has already finished with Slade. Lex Luthor asks if he realizes what he's just done. He condemned this whole world. He ruined everything. Now he lands a heavy blow on Nightwing. But something's happening to Lex Luthor. It looks like his power is running out. He needs to get some more power. Batman tells Lex he's not going to let anyone die today. Suddenly both of them are hit hard. We're back in space. Superboy thought no one would be able to catch up to him. But out of nowhere he sees a green light streak past. The Green Lanterns have created a 300-mile wall of pure willpower. They think that'll be enough to stop him. Guy Garner, along with other Lanterns, is here. The thin green line will leave him cold. Superboy Prime starts getting hit by different attacks. He asks them if they even know what the word cold means. If they don't, then he's going to show them, using his freeze breath. Cold is being the only surviving being from a world erased from history. Several lanterns have been killed. The rings have started searching for new users. Cold is being imprisoned for trying to do the right thing. Cold is what the universe did to him. Guy Garner calls a code 54. They can use excessive force, and they have to use it on this crybaby. Superboy Prime grabs Guy Garner by the throat. He's too tough, too mouthy. He needs to see what he can do without his power ring. Looks like his ring is going to stay on him, since Hal Jordan has arrived to help. The Martian Manhunter relays a message. The Green Lanterns have blocked his path, but he fears it won't be for long. That doesn't matter to Superman. Hal Jordan already knows the plan they have. Hal says goodbye to Kara. He fears they'll have to execute this plan without her. Superboy lands a heavy blow on Hal Jordan. He doesn't have to pretend he's become some fresh new hero. He saw what he did when Parallax was inside him. He's a damned maniac. Kal-El gives the signal, and between the two of them, they grab Superboy Prime. Back on Earth, Luthor tells Batman they're not so different. They murdered his parents. He works to secure the streets and prevent others from suffering what he did. His world was destroyed. He'll do whatever it takes to rebuild it and make it safe. But Batman only thinks small, saving a Gotham City street. He tries so hard for so little. In the end, he tried to take a shortcut by creating Brother Eye, but he couldn't go any further. He must learn to take shortcuts to make justice. Batman isn't going to keep listening and lands a hard punch. Now that he has him in front of him, he takes a gun and is about to shoot him. He knows exactly what Superman is going through. He doesn't deserve to suffer like this. Superboy shouldn't have died. But after all this, does Lex Luthor know what he deserves? Batman is about to shoot him, but someone arrives. It's Wonder Woman, who draws her sword to finish Lex. Well, that's what it looked like, because in the end she throws it aside. Lex Luthor isn't worth it. Alexander tells him that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean Wonder Woman is better. Luthor takes advantage of this and makes his escape. In space, Superboy Prime tells the two Supermen they won't be able to drag him back to the Speed Force. They're not fast enough. Now that he realizes it, he knows where they brought him. This place is where Krypton exploded. But they should already know that the kryptonite of this universe has no effect on him. The only thing it's going to do is kill the Superman of this universe. Everything indicates that bringing him to kryptonite wasn't the Superman's original plan. The plan was to bring him to the Red Sun. Using great speed, the two Supermen plow through the Red Sun with Superboy Prime's body. The damage they've taken is incredible, and they keep going until they reach the planet Mogo. Superman manages to stand and asks Kal-El if he's alright. But as he does, Superboy Prime comes up from behind and hits him with his heat vision. At least, until Superboy's heat vision sputters out. He doesn't understand what's happening. The original Superman comes up from behind and lands a hard punch. Now he realizes Superboy Prime doesn't have his armor. When they passed through the Red Sun, it was destroyed. No matter, he still has enough strength left to finish off one of the two. Superboy Prime launches himself at the original Superman. He told him this Earth was dark and corrupt. He saw what happened, didn't he? He saw that his sacrifice was useless. Lois died because of him. His world died because of him. He has to understand why he's doing all this. Prime was pounding the original Superman with an unbelievable barrage. At that moment, Superman arrives to keep him from landing the final blow. He doesn't understand what's happening, does he? Is he really willing to destroy everything and everyone just to feel like the one and only, the special one? Prime tells him that of course he is. He is special. He's the only one who knows how things are supposed to be. He'll be the greatest hero when everyone else is dead. Right now he's going to become the only Superman. Clark won't allow that and lands a heavy kick. He has no idea what it means to be Superman. Superboy tells him he does. He comes from a Krypton better than the one in this universe. Superman tells him it's not about where you were born or the powers you have, nor about the symbol you're wearing. Prime hits him and tells him to shut up. The battle is brutal, practically hit for hit. Superman isn't defined by all those things he just mentioned. It's about what you do. It's about all your actions. Everyone has been gravely injured and no one can stand. The Green Lanterns have arrived. They hope this prison they've just created can hold this psychopath. The Martian Manhunter helps Superman. Kara is with the Superman of her world. Kal-El tells her they've stopped him. Superman stopped him. Kara knows her cousin will recover very soon. He has to. Superman tells her everything is going to be okay. Kara realizes he's about to leave, but she doesn't want to be left alone. She begs him not to dare do this to her. This can't end like this. Kal-El finally understands. He finally knows what Lois was trying to tell him. He will always be by his cousin's side. Even if she doesn't see him, he'll be with her. This isn't the end. It will never end for either of them. And at this moment, the original Superman dies here. A few days have passed, and Earth's inhabitants are working to rebuild all that was damaged. A ceremony has been planned for Superboy's funeral. Over the next few weeks, it will be held in Metropolis. But there's someone we're forgetting. What happened to Lex Luthor when he managed to escape? Well, he was laying low in Gotham City, trying to hide. Out of nowhere, someone shows up and splashes a little acid in his face. If Lex Luthor was planning to do anything more, he won't be able to now. The Joker is here and shocks him in the face with electricity. Luthor calls for help. Someone has to help him. This Earth's Luthor arrives and tells him he made many mistakes. He underestimated Superman and Superboy. He also underestimated his counterpart on this Earth. And do you know what his biggest mistake was? Not letting the Joker take part. So now who's the idiot? We've seen what happened to Lex Luthor, but there's someone even more important. We're on the planet Oa, the center of the universe. There are quantum containment fields surrounding a miniature red sun, Eater, courtesy of Donna Troy. 50 Green Lanterns standing guard at all times. Will all of this be able to contain Superboy Prime? Well, Hal Jordan is praying that it can. Inside a prison created by the Green Lanterns, we're with Superboy Prime, who has used his hands to carve an S onto his chest. He's been in worse places than this and has managed to get out. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.